Yo, welcome back to my channel again. I am in pain, so I will be standing up for most of this and just walking around my room because I cannot sit down or else it will be worse. Ooh, pain. I love pain. Best feeling in the world. Best feeling in the world. No, it's not. It's horrible. So, I'm running out of ideas. Now, from seeing me, you may know that I'm not a very creative person when it comes to stuff. That is until I wasn't even gonna upload today. That is until I saw something that caught my attention. For those who haven't been on TikTok recently, there's these things called OC questions where someone uploads a TikTok asking you questions about your OCs. And I saw one that interested me, so I'm gonna do that just with my own little twist, which basically was... The question basically was... what is your OC's most cherished item, or as how I'll put it, most treasured anything, really. So I can give lore, which is what I'm about to do. Especially lore that you all will not know unless I share it. We'll start off by the characters I'm planning to introduce. Well, I have introduced in order. From characters I've already introduced to characters you will meet in the future. The first one. Forgot to grab it. Hold on. The first one is Mr. K. Now, he has two things that he holds dear to him. This face mask and this lab coat. The lab coat and doctor's mask, as I like to call it, were given to him by the person who operated on him. The person who was basically checking his pulse. After pulse. I don't know why I think there's an A and an L in the word pulse. After, like, Project Cyborg was made, which is the name of the project of cybernetic enhancements. The Project Cyborg military, basically. Mr. K wasn't trusted. But the doctor operating on him that you see in the opening of the video is the one that is entrusted with basically watching over him. And that's why he keeps the mask and lab coat, to remind him of basically his mentor. The person who watched over him and basically didn't. With Project Cyborg, they wanted to see what would happen if they, one, put cybernetic enhancements into a living thing, and two, if they can make it a living military weapon. Because what's better than a human or a person is a person and human who will follow orders, and it's a killing machine with no emotion. That was what Mr. K was supposed to be. But because of the doctor watching over him, he was able to be more what he wanted to be rather than something he didn't want to be, which was a machine that killed for nothing with no empathy. Because he does have empathy, he's just more of the, he doesn't show it as much. He's more of the I do experience emotions, but showing them is not worth the time kind of type of person. He is, again, to show that he has emotion, he keeps two items from the person he spent most of his life with. Until eventually the government from the future realized that the doctor was not following orders, so they had to, put him down. He's the scientist that Mr. K mentions when he says there was a theory that a lot of scientists talked about, even one famous one, which was the guy operating on Mr. K. He was not only a doctor, but a scientist as well. They entrusted, I guess, government doctors / scientists to watch over the cybernetic project. And that's why he keeps those two items on him at all times. Usually he keeps the lab coat wrapped around a chair or just on him. Same with the face mask, he keeps it with him and puts it on when doing stuff like surgery or that requires being in a doctor mode. Next is horror. Horror doesn't have a lot on his person. The only things he has are 2 axes, a lot of hatchets, throwable hatchets that he can just throw and, reuse. A lot more shorter for close combat. Not used that much, only for like stealthy stuff he does. I hate walking around this room. He does keep a tooth in his. No, he doesn't. No. He keeps a hand, a severed hand, with a hole, a skeleton hand with a hole in the middle, which is his father's hand, which Horror did not cut off. That was just missing. One day it was cut off. We don't know why. No one knows why. It's a secret. No one will know. So Horror just basically has his father's hand in a desk that he just keeps with him at all times. He also has a scarf that he has somewhere laying around, a red scarf. A extra. Papyrus had 2 scarves, a backup and the one he wears. Horror has the backup. I think it was a red scarf. I can't remember the color of the scarf he was wearing. Next is John. He is the third one that I need to introduce, but I don't have my blue shirt on with me. And if I don't get it tomorrow, I'll just wear a shirt and hope it's blue enough. John keeps 5 items on him. We have the hockey mask he wears 24/7, as he has no face. Well, no, he does, but it's inconsistent. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes there's just air behind the mask. He keeps. Nah, I'll keep it in my hands. He keeps 4 items on him that are important to him. 3 of them are bracelets. 1 is a ring. Yeah, 3 of them are bracelets. 1 is a ring. The ring is his ring, but he keeps it to signify. He keeps it on his ring finger to signify that 1, he's married, and 2, he cherishes the ring. He wears 1 bracelet here, and 2 bracelets here. 1 is blue, No, what colors did I assign to them? One is red, one is green, the other is pink. And they're to represent his sons, basically. The pink one is from his daughter, Mary. The green one is from... The green one is from... What color is which? The green one's from Jack. And the red one is from Zach. Or is it the other way around? I forget what colors I made them each. Basically, the colors signify their, the color of jacket, or their color of choice of being color-coded. Green, pink, and red. I think it was Zach. Maybe it was Jack. I can't remember which one had red and which one had green. That's not the point. He keeps those 4 items to remind him of his family whenever he's out on a mission or just doing anything in general. Or, in his words, when they're gone for too long, aka 1 second. He's a very, I guess you could say, worrisome person. He's a warrior. He may be the most powerful, but that doesn't stop him from being a warrior. Warrior. Fourth is what would I do after John? The fourth is gonna be Foxy. He keeps 2 things on him. Is it 2 or is there more? 2 things on him. One, no, 3. One is a ring. The other is a ring he wears on his ring finger. The second one is an eye. And the third one is a tongue. No, that sounds weird. What? A hand? A severed hand. The ring is from... Well, he's married, obviously. The eye is from his father, who was killed shortly after his murder, a couple weeks after Fritz died. And the hand is from his mother, who died in the 1990s, somewhere around the 1990s, a couple years after, a couple years after Fritz and his father's death. He keeps those hands to he keeps those items to remind him of his family, as they are dead now. Next is me. I keep a lot of things, as my character is more of a hoarder than anything like that. He keeps things he doesn't need, but there's 2 important things he keeps on his person. Those 2 things are rings. He has 2 rings with initials on them. One is J. Dot, and the other is J. Dot. Or is it H? No, it's J. How's his name spelled? He has 2 rings. One's his mother's. The other is his father's. That he keeps on him at all times to remind him of home, basically. He's very far away from home. His family lives in... all the way over in a Hispanic country, whether that be Spain, Mexico, or anything else. That's up to interpretation. But he's very far away from home, and he stays in the country of America because that was where he was born, and that is where most crime happens. The country with the most supervillains and just people to fight in general, and that's why he's there. Mr. K ends up in America and stays there as well because he has nowhere else to go, as he's been stranded by his time machine. Horror actually ended up in the mountains, in a mountain called, what's it called? Basically, the underground, my version of the underground, where it's located, is under Mount Everest. Mount Everest. Which in this world is in U.S. territory. And is near Wyoming as well. It's called Everest because, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think most of these things through. Which is how he ends up in America. He finds a house, a vacant, abandoned building, not far away from the mountain, but far enough to the point where there's civilization. He doesn't know where he is, but my guess is Wyoming. I don't know. It's just a guess. Same with my character, who's also in Wyoming. Foxy will arrive via pirate ship. That's all I'll give away for now. What other items do they keep on? They also have their own weapons that they choose to use. John has a baseball bat. Mr. K uses his hands and his tech, potions, and anything else. Turrets, because why not? Missiles just implanted into his, I guess, being. Railgun. I have, actually, the only weapon I actually have is mine. Let me grab it real quick. So the only time you'll ever see one of my characters using a weapon is me, unless I'm able to find props. Because the weapon my character uses is a staff. That works perfectly for a staff. I don't have a baseball bat, and I do not have an axe. I do not have a prop axe. And I'm going to need 2 of them. And hatchets as well. So, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. Fritz, or Foxy, uses a front lock, but you're going to be seeing me use finger guns instead of, because again, low prop budget. And a blunderbuss. Now, how he holds it is actually very, you see, he's left-handed, right? But you see, that's his hook hand. So with a blunderbuss, he puts the hook where the trigger is supposed to be. Because a blunderbuss is basically like a shotgun, right? And whenever he needs to, cock the gun, he uses it with his normal hand. He pulls his hook. And if ever needs to reload, he'll put it down like this, have his hook continue to grab the trigger, and just reload it. With the flintlock, it's very hard for him to reload, but not too difficult. He can also switch it. He also has a sword, which the way he holds it is, there's, you know how in hook hands, right? A hook is connected to the metal thing. He can unscrew the hook and screw in a weapon of his choice, whether that be a mace, whether that be a sword, or whether that be anything else, to make it so that way it makes sense of how he's able to dual wield something. To be fair, he doesn't need to dual wield since he's a robot. He can just hold anything as long as it's not too heavy with one hand. So yeah, that's me talking about a lot of stuff. Now my characters do have other things they keep on their persons or just have because why not? But that isn't really, some of those things aren't lore important or too lore important to give away. Like for an example, an item my character has and keeps on his person is a band, a rubber band. Tied to that rubber band is a jar filled with what seems to be seeping out orange energy. That's all, an orangey liquid, basically. Which will release something, a future villain, or something else. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's me telling you the order of my character showing up. If I do not get my blue shirt by tomorrow, I'll just wear something close enough to blue. And then do John, and then I can finally do Foxy, and then me. And then that concludes the end of Season 0. And we'll move on to Season 1. There will be no villains until Season 2. See y'all in the next one. Peace.